Bombshell Gooners. Andrea Berta has just confirmed a new 21-year-old centre-back who Chelsea let go unexpectedly, and his connection to Real Madrid makes the story even more extraordinary. Meanwhile, sources inside Arsenal have confirmed that a Bayern Munich star is now on the club's radar following the potential departure of Martin Ødegaard. And Nwaneri has just scored a stunning long-range goal in pre-season, while an Arsenal source has revealed a major update on the youngster's future that completely changes the narrative surrounding his summer. If you want all the details on these explosive stories as Arsenal's pre-season gets underway and the transfer window enters its crucial final weeks, subscribe right now, turn on notifications, and let's get straight into it. Let's jump straight into the first story because The Athletic have just revealed that Arsenal have added Como centre-back Jacobo Ramon to their defensive shortlist. And the timing of this move, coming directly after Chelsea pivoted to Crystal Palace's Maxence Lacroix, reveals the kind of opportunistic intelligence that has defined Berta's entire approach to this transfer window. The background on Ramon is genuinely fascinating. The 21-year-old came through the academy at Real Madrid, one of the most demanding and prestigious developmental environments in world football, before making 3 first-team appearances for Los Blancos in 2025. He then joined Como last summer for just £2.2 million. That is an almost absurdly low fee for a player who went on to make 32 Serie A appearances, as Como qualified for the Champions League for the very first time in their history under Cesc Fabregas. The trajectory from Real Madrid Academy to Champions League football in 2 years tells you everything about the quality and mentality of this player. Chelsea had been showing serious interest in Ramon throughout this summer, a connection rooted in the fact that Xabi Alonso coached him during his time in Real Madrid's youth system, and clearly retains a detailed understanding of exactly what the defender can become. But Chelsea are now closing in on Crystal Palace's Lacroix in a £52 million deal, leaving the door open for Arsenal to move without competing against a Premier League rival for the same target. The Saliba injury crisis has transformed what was previously a nice-to-have defensive addition into an urgent necessity, with Arsenal confirming the Frenchman will be sidelined for an extended period, ruling out surgery but confirming months of absence through a rest and rehabilitation programme. Gabriel Magalhaes cannot be asked to carry the centre-back position alone through the opening stretch of the Premier League season. John Stones is heading to Inter Milan. Consa's £60 million price tag and the valuation gap with Aston Villa makes that deal unlikely. Ramon, at a fraction of that cost, playing regular Champions League football at 21, represents exactly the kind of clever, low-risk acquisition that solves a specific problem without consuming the budget needed for Guimarães, Alvarez and Vinicius. There are complications. Real Madrid retain a 50% sell-on clause and a buyback option in any future deal for Ramon. Those clauses add complexity to any negotiation and will require careful structuring. But for a player available at a manageable fee with Champions League experience and a Real Madrid pedigree, the complications are worth navigating. Berta spotted the Chelsea exit. He moved immediately. That is elite sporting direction. So Gooners, is Jacobo Ramon the smart, creative defensive solution Arsenal need to cover for Saliba, or do you think Berta should still push harder for a more established name? Drop your verdict in the comments right now. Now let's talk about a story that has been quietly building in Arsenal circles all summer and has just been brought into sharp focus by a damning statistical comparison, because Arsenal insider Team News Antics has just confirmed that Jamal Musiala has been on the club's radar since January, alongside Vinicius Jr. and Kvaratskhelia, as part of a specific search for the top 1% of the top 1% of attacking talent. The quote that sets the scene is extraordinary. The source told followers, "I've been aware of Arsenal's interest in Vinicius Jr. since January. Back in January, Arsenal were looking at the top 1% of the top 1%, that mould of player. The 3 I heard were Kvaratskhelia, Jamal Musiala or Vinicius Jr. 3 of the most elite attacking players on the planet being considered simultaneously as potential long-term transformations of Arsenal's attack. That is the level of ambition operating behind the scenes at the Emirates right now. But the reason Musiala is being discussed as something more specific than a vague long-term aspiration is the Odegaard problem, and the statistics that define it are genuinely uncomfortable to confront for anyone who loves the Arsenal captain. In 2024 to 2025, Musiala scored 21 goals in 44 matches. Odegaard managed just 1 goal in the entire 2025 to 2026 Premier League season. Per 90 minutes, Musiala produced 0.6 non-penalty goals to Odegaard's 0.08. Big chance involvement, Musiala at 1.45 to Odegaard's 0.5. Successful dribbles, 3.59 versus 0.97. Shot-ending carries, 1.8 versus 1.16. The honest assessment of where Odegaard currently stands is one that Arteta himself has been grappling with internally. The Norwegian is still one of the most creative midfielders in the Premier League. Only Bruno Fernandes, Ryan Cherki and Jeremy Doku made more key passes per 90 minutes last season. His ability to orchestrate, to find teammates in dangerous spaces, to control tempo, all of that remains genuinely world-class. But the goal scoring that made him so devastating in 2022 to 2023, 15 goals, joint top scorer with Saka and Martinelli, has completely evaporated. 7 goals in 2 seasons. 1 goal last season. For a player of his technical quality and positioning, that is a crisis of confidence in front of goal that shows no sign of resolving itself. A Bayern Munich valued Musiala at £150 million just 2 years ago. His stock has dropped slightly following a broken leg, but do not expect the Germans to entertain any offers below 100 million even now. And Arsenal's broader budget picture, with Guimaraes, Alvarez and Vinicius all being simultaneously pursued, makes spending that kind of money on Musiala this summer almost impossible, regardless of the desire. But what this insider confirmation tells us is that Berta's vision for this club's future extends beyond the next transfer window. Musiala is being watched, the succession plan for Odegaard is being considered, and when the moment is right, Arsenal will be positioned to move. So Gooners, do those Musiala versus Odegaard statistics convince you that Arsenal need to plan for life beyond their captain? And would you want Musiala at the Emirates if the price and timing were ever right? Drop your completely honest take in the comments. Now let us round things off with the story that should genuinely lift the mood of every Gooner who spent the summer worrying about one of Haaland's most precious products, because Ethan Nwaneri has just scored a stunning curler in Arsenal's first pre-season game against MK Dons, and an Arsenal source has just dropped an update on his future that completely reframes everything we thought we knew about his situation heading into the new season. The goal itself was exactly the kind of statement moment Nwaneri needed at exactly the right time. A stunning curling finish, the kind of goal that reminds everyone watching exactly what this 19-year-old is capable of, when given the trust and the space to express himself without the weight of transfer speculation hanging over him. It was beautiful, it was confident, and it arrived in the perfect context. A pre-season game where the regular starters are still recovering from World Cup duty, the spotlight is available, and Arteta is watching to make genuine evaluative decisions about his squad for the season ahead. Arsenal source Team News Antics was clear and reassuring about where Nwaneri's future actually stands. I never really felt that Ethan Nwaneri would leave Arsenal. At most, I think Arsenal would loan him. Of course, if someone comes in with stupid money, the club would probably let him go, but I think the stupid market for Nwaneri is gone. Read that carefully. The stupid money market has passed. Chelsea inquired and were rebuffed. The valuation of £52 million that Arsenal placed on the teenager deterred buyers who might have been willing to pay it at the peak of the speculation window. Now, barring an extraordinary offer that materialises from nowhere, Nwaneri stays. The pre-season opportunity in front of him right now is genuinely significant. Madueke, Eze, Saka and Odegaard are all returning late from World Cup duty and will need careful management before being integrated back into the squad. That creates a window of several weeks where Nwaneri is fresh, fit and available, and where every training session and every pre-season appearance carries weight in Arteta's planning. The MK Dons goal is the opening statement of that audition. The Phil Foden comparison is the most instructive one for understanding how Arsenal should view Nwaneri's trajectory. Foden was 20 when he properly established himself as a regular starter under Guardiola at Manchester City, and Nwaneri turns 20 in March. His brother Emerson recently committed his future to Arsenal, a family signal that the relationship between the Nwaneris and the club is in a significantly better place than the rumours of summer suggested. A Premier League loan at the end of the window remains possible if the right opportunity at the right club presents itself. But the big exit story is over. Nwaneri is an Arsenal player, and right now he is making the most of every single minute available to him. So Gooners, after that stunning pre-season goal and this update on his future, do you now want Arsenal to keep Nwaneri and give him regular first-team football this season? Or do you think a loan move to a Premier League club would be better for his development right now? Drop everything in the comments. I want every single opinion. Alright Gooners, smash that subscribe button right now if you haven't already joined this family. Pre-season has started, the window is entering its final crucial weeks, and every single update is going to matter enormously. Hit that button immediately, completely free, and you will not miss a single moment. And I need to know right now, where in the world are you watching from? Drop your city and your country in the comments immediately. Every single week, I read through every location, and the global passion of this Arsenal family across every continent genuinely never stops being the most extraordinary thing about building this community with all of you every single day. Until next time, Gooners, come on you Gunners!